on this computer. Hi, everyone. So what you're watching is a re-recording of the webinar that we did. Thankfully, there weren't a ton of verbal questions, so you guys aren't going to miss anything. We're going to run through the same presentation that we had. But unfortunately, someone, we're not going to name names, but someone whose name might be Regina forgot to hit to record it the first time. So Amy is going to run through her presentation again, and we'll mention the same things that we mentioned in the first one, so no one's going to miss anything. And we'll put all the offers in the description in the YouTube video. All right. So
okay, so we're going to run through this, but we're going to try and go like crazy fast so that, you know, because we took a little bit of extra time. All right, share screen. Here we go. I will not be as entertaining, I think, the second time around because now I'm going to go fast.
That's okay. Just everyone trust me who was not there live. She was very entertaining.
Okay, so there's a bunch of information about who I am. I'm sure it's all very fascinating that I have lots of degrees and stuff, but you know, you don't.
Aren't you working on a PhD or something? Or no, the LLM?
I'm working on an LLM in intellectual property. And since I closed my practice in 2021, this is now my second degree, but I'm basically just going to stay in school until I die now.
I don't know how my mom got her PhD at 59, and I'm the opposite. I skipped a year of college and then went straight through, and I became a lawyer when I was like maybe 22, and I was like, I'm never ever going back to school. I refused to take another bar exam. I picked Arizona as my semi-retirement place because I could waive in. I'm not doing anything that resembles school again.
I mean, I loved school. I was in a PhD program before I went to law school. So, you know, for me, it was great to go back. And I was just concerned because I feel like I'm the old lady with all these like young people. But I got to tell you, at the law school, like the kids have really been great. And they think I'm kind of funny too, because like, you know, I don't know, something came up in my copyright class that I took last fall. We were talking about the, you know, the 2 Live Crew case. I don't know if nobody else is here, but like, it's this case where, you know, there was, they recorded the song and they mocked, a famous song by, Roy Orbison, and they couldn't get permission. And then they claimed that it was parody, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court. Well, like I was a kid when that happened, but I remember it because I'm a musician. So for me, it was like something that I remember from when I was a kid. But like, she's like lecturing about the case, and I'm like, yeah, here's the deal. Like, let me just tell everybody what happened like back in 1990, you know?
Do you sing or do you play, or both?
Both. I am a classically trained cellist.
That's fancy.
Yeah, but I play guitar and I sing, and you know, yeah. And my kids are both musical, and that's my world. So now everything is like, I try and get my daughter to perform and do like, you know, open mic nights with me, and she's like, that's not cool, Mom.
So your daughter got into Berklee College of Music, and so it was kind of timing for you to sort of slow down your litigation practice, start Mad Jam Music and Entertainment Law, and transition into coaching so you have more time to kind of help her with her dream, which is cool.
So Mad Jam is my kids, Madison and James.
Oh.
And you know, I knew if I was going to keep litigating all these high conflict cases, I wasn't going to be able to have a life. Now, I had taken the steps prior to 2021 that I had an office that was, you know, very easy to transition out of. Even though I had all these crazy litigation cases, even though I was in the middle of a bunch of trials, I basically handed over all the cases to one law firm, and was out. Okay, lawyers love tests, so I've created a 4-prong test for you to consider. And when you're thinking, is it my time to either start thinking about transitioning, or is it my time, am I old enough to just get the hell out? So the questions you want to ask yourself are, am I still alive? Can I afford this? Do I want to have a heart attack and die in court? How do I just get the hell out? And you know, Regina mentioned this the last time we did this presentation 5 minutes ago, but you know, is your office in good shape for this, right? Like, is this something that you can do, or are you going to start to sit down and make a succession plan and find that you have all these things that first need to be fixed in your office till you can even get it to the point where you sell it, or somebody else wants to even take over your files, right? Like, how many of us have taken over a file from an attorney and it's just like a hot mess? So what are the things you have to do now to get yourself ready to just be able to step out? Maybe because you want to, because you're ready, and maybe because you have to. You know, so somebody, my dog is protecting me from the delivery people.
So while she's doing that, so some of the things we talked about are, you know, when you're doing a succession plan, one of the benefits of doing a succession plan is it's really forcing you to take a hard look at things. Just the same way when you're writing a will, you're writing down what are your assets, what are your debts, what are your liabilities, where are things located in the house, where is that, you know, antique chair that really nobody wants, but you insist on giving to your favorite nephew. Like, it requires an audit of your firm. And so even if you're not planning on, you know, dropping dead at a bar dinner or retiring or shifting, it's still helping you plug holes in your practice currently, which is either going to set you up to either continue serving your clients, which is the plan, or if you want to end up selling later on, then it'll help as well. And we're going to be doing another webinar with another coach that's specifically talking about how to sell your firm. But one of the things is you can't sell crap. So you have to have really good systems in place. So these same things that you are auditing and getting together and creating a succession plan are really some of the same things that you would be doing in order to run your practice in a way that makes it a good practice, which is what we want to begin with, but then makes it sellable later on, which would just be an added bonus.
100%, 100%. So there's a bunch of stuff to consider, and I'm going to show you the slide with a longer outline in a few minutes, but I did a presentation for local bar association in June, and I have tons of punch lists on all the different things you have to consider. Your personal considerations. Are you ready to go? Are you going to be a retirement failure like me, where you just can't sit around and do nothing? You have to have something to do with your days. You know, do you have enough money in the bank? You know, if you're planning on just getting Social Security, are you old enough? And how much is going to be coming in? And is it going to be enough to go on fun cruises and take nice vacations and sit on the beach? What are the ethical considerations? And we talked about this, and I want to mention, like, I have this wonderful chart that I got from the ABA that shows all the different state requirements for succession planning. And there are at least 2 states that we mentioned before, Maine and Florida, that actually have mandatory retirement planning or succession planning. New Jersey doesn't have anything, not even a recommendation, but most states, at least in their ethics rules, have recommendations. Of course, everybody is now like, you know, the dog, the phone, everything. What are you gonna do with your people? You know, I had a full staff in my office. I was supporting a lot of people. I pledged to get them jobs. But you know, what if you have, you know, and don't laugh, but like, what if you have a 75-year-old secretary who doesn't know how to use a computer, but you tolerate her? I lived that situation. So, you know, that's something that you have to consider. Where are your people going to go? When do you tell your people? Do you want them to just like all up and leave as soon as you tell them? You know, and what are you going to do when you're not aware? What are your options? Are you going to sell the firm? Are you going to close the firm? Are you going to merge? Are you going to groom somebody else? You're going to just die at your desk. You know, the purpose of succession planning is to give you the option to do any of these things at any point, either on the date that you've planned to do it, or even earlier, like I did. Do you have a backup lawyer? Are you a true solo? Like Regina was saying, is your office a hot mess and, you know, nobody's going to be able to figure out what's going on? Do you have a transition binder? You know, this is what I consider to be the succession plan is you know, it doesn't have to be a physical binder, it could be a folder, whatever, but a physical copy of all the different things that you need to transition, right? Instructions for inactive and active cases, procedures to transfer active matters, instructions for your trust account, your bank accounts. How do you pay people? How do you pay bills? Authorizations to deal with the accountant, to deal with the bank. A list of people that need to be notified, and most importantly, compensation for the attorney or attorneys that are going to take over your cases. And finally, what are your last requests for your law firm? So very quickly, I'm going to go through this. I've got two main offers that I'm going to make to the people that are watching this and in Lawyers on the Beach. First is, this was actually like a 40-minute presentation. We're now going to have condensed it down into hopefully like 10. And I apologize for the brevity of it, but what I have already is about a 2-hour presentation on all of this stuff with a tremendous amount of detail. We'll delve into some of the ethics rules from every state. We'll delve into the model rules. I have lists of different considerations, and I want to be able to answer as many questions as I can. So I'm going to do this presentation twice, once on August 3rd and once on August 24th. You can attend either of them. You can attend both of them. It's going to be the same cost. And I'm going to charge $150 per person. And for everybody that I get over 10 people, I'm going to give out gift cards to Nordstrom, which I'm going to have my guy, his name is Gabriel, so I call him the Archangel Gabriel. And he is amazing, and he takes very good care of me whenever I go shopping. And he did wonderful virtual shopping for me, so he'll send out the gift cards, hopefully with some little beauty goodies. And that will be $150. Then here is the list of the topics. You can read that in more detail. It's going to be posted to the group. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out this very personalized program. It's going to be an 8-month succession plan program. We're going to meet twice a month. We're going to evaluate your state-specific rules. We're going to draft a personalized succession or closing plan for your office. We're going to draft a personalized plan in the event of incapacity. Assuming we get the, a couple people in this, we're going to have bi-monthly group meetings so that we can have some interaction and feedback as to what other people are planning and doing. And I'm going to run the program from September to April. It's going to be limited to 6 people. And it's going to be at a cost of $6,000. And that price is only for people in Lawyers on the Beach. So if you are watching this YouTube channel and you're not in the Lawyers on the Beach group and you email me to sign up for this, that is, you're not in, but just wait a second. And you're certainly not in at that price. Then I'll offer, if I have enough interest, a second session starting in January. Again, that's going to be limited to 6 participants. The cost will be more. There's a pay in full discount, but then there's also a referral fee. So if you are watching the seminar or reading these slides and you see this and say, hey, I know, Billy Bob, and he really could use this because he looks like he's dying in the courtroom right now. And you send him to me and he pays, then I will send you a $500 referral fee. Just do an email introduction to me and Billy Bob. If you're interested in any of these programs, just shoot me an email at amy@madjammusiclaw.com with your information. Tell me what you want to attend and how you want to pay. I'm going to take people into the programs in the order that they email me and pay in full. So I think.
And one thing, Amy, that you mentioned in the in the first thing of this is you didn't like when you had coaching programs and they would kind of give you vague overviews and then you would have to go home and do the homework. And if you don't want to go home and do the homework, that's what her program is for. We are throwing money at the problem people. So because it's a
Yeah.
lot, because once you start unpeeling all of the layers, checking with your ethics rules of what to do, getting a full binder, which is pretty much a firm manual done, all of those things, you may not have the time or inclination to do it. So that's literally what she's doing. She's doing all that for you and delivering it to you instead of you spending time to do it, which at your hourly rate probably is not the best and highest use of your time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what I said before was, and it's true, is I love many of the coaches. One of them is my best friend in the whole world, and I think that the coaching programs are fabulous, and I participated in several of them. But for me, one of the things that always frustrated me was that I would go and I would spend money and I would spend my time, and then they would say, okay, now you go do this. And I would be like, no, you do it for me. Like, I don't have time to write out phone scripts and workflows and all of this stuff. And so this is what I do now. I'm doing this for other lawyers that are, you know, solos that just don't have the time to do it. I say, okay, great, I'll talk to your staff, I'll figure out what the hell you're doing, and I'll put it together. Same thing with this program. I'm gonna look up the state ethics rules for you. I'm gonna make sure that you're in compliance. I'm gonna find out how you're doing things. I'll have all the right questions to ask, and I will put it together for you so that you don't feel like we spend an hour together and then you've got 5 hours worth of work. That's not what we're, that's
I
not
had
what
a housekeeper once that wouldn't fold and put away my laundry. So then obviously I found a new one and she's fantastic. But it's like, well, how is that like such beyond the pale for you to like take stuff out of the dryer and fold it and put it away? And it just drove me crazy. But anyway, but I have another housekeeper now and she does all of the things, even things I don't ask her to do, which is the whole point. I'm hiring someone to make my life easier and she does all of the things.
This is what you need a house husband for. Right? Like, you gotta find a man who will clean for you.
Yeah, I don't know that that's likely. So until now, I'll just keep her. And she plays with my cat. She's great.
Yeah, we actually, now that I'm home all the time, we finally have a housekeeper because, as you guys heard briefly, I have a crazy beast of a dog who would eat everybody that came in the house. So we couldn't just let somebody come in our house and take
Hey,
care
look,
of it.
someone came back. So we're gonna admit her and see if she was at the first one. Let's see if she's in here. Jenna, can you hear us? Hey, can you hear us, Jenna?
Trying to unmute you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. So you're coming on the tail end of this. So we did the whole thing and I forgot to record it.
Oh no. I was sitting there hoping there was a recording because I just got out of a meeting.
So yeah, we are basically doing the whole thing again, just me and Amy, and then we're gonna send out the YouTube video with the description and all of that stuff. So I think we hit most of the high points the second round. So sorry about that.
Hey,
But if you have any questions about succession planning, go for it.
So many, but I just wanted, I was gonna listen to what you were sharing and then just go from there. So should I drop off and just wait for the recording, or should I just lurk?
Well,
we're done.
Yeah,
So
we're wrapping it up.
I didn't want you to feel like you were, missing out.
Such great timing. I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's totally my fault.
Typical
Right, yeah,
Friday
we'll
where I,
let you know when the recording posts.
okay, beautiful. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm excited to see, I'm excited to learn. Have a good weekend.
Okay, see ya. Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah, I don't know, how long does it take to get the video up?
Okay, technically not long, but I'm just always doing like a million other things, including napping and lashes. So yeah, I'll get it up as soon as possible. I will definitely try to do it this week. I'm going to a 1-year-old's birthday party, so I have to like mentally prepare myself for that and detox after it. So
You'll be fine.
all right, let me stop the recording.